Mojang has just released the Happy Ghast and Ghastling for Minecraft Bedrock in the latest beta, along with the vibrant visuals update. This is everything new that they announced at Minecraft Live, and now playable in-game just days later. So let's take a look at absolutely everything you need to know about the Happy Ghast, from how cute it is to how useful it is, and the vibrant visual updates as well. So in order to play with these new features, you need to turn on the Drop to 2025 experimental toggle. This could indicate that these features will be included in the 121.90 update for Bedrock Edition. A little bit of a bug in the beta, you can actually find this just like, you know, in a regular Minecraft world without turning on the experimental mode. So in order to get the Happy Ghast, you're gonna have to find this thing in the Soul Sand Valley biome by these little fossils here. Now, we always thought that these belonged to something else, but apparently these belong to the Ghast, and this is where you can find the little dried gas block. Now, this guy actually makes a little bit of noise. I'm pretty sure that's from the dried gas block, so you can just go ahead and mine this thing by hand. It's actually an instant mine item, and look at this guy. Oh, he's so sad. He's so cute, though. Oh my god, I kind of love it. Yeah, they definitely emit some weird, creepy noises, and it's just extra sad. So what if you don't actually want to acquire these things in Nether, or you don't want to explore new chunks or whatever? Well, lucky for you, you can actually just straight up craft these things in the inventory. As you can see, it is a single bone block and some gas tiers, so you're gonna have a bunch of reasons to go build yourself a gas farm now, and now you can just put all these things around. So this is like a proper solid block. You can stand on top of it and stuff, and it's actually got kind of a unique hitbox. It is 3 pixels from each side, which, you know, pretty useful actually for a bunch of different things. By the way, these guys stack up to 64, so you can have a ton of these dried ghasts. So if you don't want to display these guys like a weirdo, well then all you gotta do is waterlog them and then wait for 20 minutes. As you can see, that's gonna give you the little particles right there, and now we can start waiting for this guy to progressively get happier. If we speed up time a little bit, you can see that his frown is going to turn upside down. As you can see, the expression is slowly changing over time to become kind of expressionless, and then that mouth is going to change as well. And now he's kind of like a regular gas texture. Now, what if you decide that you don't want to hatch this guy? Well, you can simply go ahead and take the water away, and then he will slowly re-dry out. So you can't just have a normal expressionless angry ghast. Yeah, that's not allowed. So we got to go ahead and resaturate that guy real quick. And now, as you see, it's becoming a happy little ghastling, and this is right before it actually hatches. That hatching sound was adorable, and now we have a little baby ghastling running around. You know, I don't know, floating around? Oh my god, the sounds are so cute. Okay, look at this guy. He's having such a good time. So this guy is going to naturally just kind of roam around the area around his home base location, which is either the place that he hatched or the last place that he was interacted with. So you don't actually need to tie them up to a lead or something. If I interacted with him like over here somewhere, then he would simply roam around this spot. Now, he's also going to follow around the player or really any passive mob within about 16 blocks of him. So if I just run over here real quick, well, he's not doing a very good job, is he? But, you know, he just got born. Give him a little bit of a break. So yeah, if he's within 16 blocks of you, he will kind of just follow you around like a little bit of a balloon. Now, of course, you can put a lead on this guy as well to have a proper balloon, and it looks like he kind of floats near the ground when he's on a lead. So, you know, it's pretty cute. I mean, look at this. This is great. This is honestly fantastic. I couldn't be happier. Now, you can also fishing rod the guy, too, and that shouldn't have really dealt damage to him. Now, you can't really interact with this guy or ride him or do really much with this particular guy. He will naturally grow up into a full-sized Happy Ghast after about 20 minutes. So it turns out that you can get the baby variants inside of minecarts and inside of boats. It's just a little bit difficult because they, you know, they float above the ground, so I had to lead them down and pull them down and then unlead them, and then he kind of got in there. I'm sure there's easier ways to do this if you just, like, raise up the boat, though. But look how cute this guy is! Oh my god, I want to die. So you can feed these guys snowballs, and that will actually speed up their growth. As you see, it actually doesn't take that many snowballs to forcibly grow these guys up, and now we have a full-sized Happy Ghast. Look at this dude. He's having such a good time in here. I feel like his, like, legs are shorter than a regular ghast. These guys sound so fun. Listen to these sounds. It sounds like A ghast villager. Oh my god, we need a villager texture for this ghast right now. Stat, pronto, somebody get on that. So I am curious to see what happens when you feed one of these that's inside of a boat or a minecart, because there was a bug where you could grow up a baby horse inside of a boat, and then it would stay inside the boat, and they don't want these big ghasts inside of boats. So let's see what happens. Go ahead and feed this guy real quick. And is he still in the boat? He's not! That is so sad! However, these guys are allowed to be inside of minecarts, so this is very good for us. We can do a lot of stuff with that. So these ghasts will naturally roam around the area that they were spawned or that they were last interacted with. As you can see, you don't need to lead them. They're not just gonna, like, fly off randomly into unloaded chunks, and sometimes they'll even, like, come down to the ground and stuff. So if you want to actually lure them, you simply hold a snowball. It seems like they have a pretty big follow range, like that guy will, come over to us in a moment, as you can see there. And then once you have them about right here, you can go ahead and put a harness on them. So making a harness is really, really cheap. It is 3 leather across the top, 2 pieces of glass for the goggles, and then some wool in there. And of course, there is 16 different colors of these, depending on, you know, what color of wool you actually use. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can actually re-dye these as well. So you just put that in there, a piece of dye, boom, you got another different color of harness. And of course, these are a non-stackable thing, just like saddles. So there's more items for you to sort in your storage system. So this is what these things look like right here. Honestly, they're pretty much just a big old square of some goggles on it. I do like the little eyes though. And here you can see all 16 different colors of the harness. So these regular happy ghasts can be lured in either by holding a snowball or by holding a harness. As you can see here, these guys should come down to the ground, and boom, we can just go ahead and click on that guy with a harness, and now he is kind of tamed. He's gonna rotate around this area and wander in a closer range. I believe these guys wander up to 64 blocks away. These guys wander up to about 32 blocks away. So I'd recommend luring these guys once you're in kind of a flat area. That way you can actually get them down to the ground. And you just need to hold a snowball to get them to come down to you. As you can see there, they just want a nice little treat. Now, if you click on these guys with a pair of shears, as you can see, that is going to take the harness off of them. As you can see, the texture actually does look pretty solid. Pretty much the only complaints I've seen about the Happy Ghast is just the harness texture. And now we get to actually fly on this guy. So you need to hold your snowball, get him down to the ground over here, and then you just like go ahead and click on him. And as you can see, right now he has like 40 health or 2 rows of hearts. That's actually a bug. He's only supposed to have 1 row of hearts. But our camera also gets zoomed out quite far as well. Look how far away that is. That's because you need to be able to see around this big old boy right here. Now, if we actually look in a specific direction, that is where we are going to fly. So if we look to the left, as you can see, that guy is going to rotate to the left. If I look to the right, this guy is going to rotate to the right. And then if I just hold forward, then as you can see, we're going to slowly fly forward. Looking up is how you go up. So we can go straight up like this. And then we can also go straight down as well. Now, this guy does take up quite a bit of your field of view, and he does run into blocks. He also gets pushed around by other ghasts as well. So if you're like having a bunch of people flying around in one area, you're gonna get nudged around. Now, this thing holds up to 4 players. So this slot to my right here would get filled up with the 2nd player, and then behind me would be the 3rd one, and to my left would be the 4th player. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can dismount by pressing shift, and now you are standing on top of the ghast. This guy will align himself to whatever cardinal direction is the nearest one. So as you see, he snapped from the diagonal to this direction. And now he is just going to chill here and just stay absolutely still for us to mess around and fly around and discover. Now, if you actually jump off of this guy, then he's going to start wandering around and he's free to go do whatever he wants. And then if you want to get back on him, well, you can fly up there with an elytra, or you can simply lure him back down. And there's quite a big hitbox. As you can see there, I managed to actually jump up and get on top of him, even though I was pretty far on the ground. By the way, you can't just hold the jump button, and that will actually make you go directly upwards. It would be kind of nice if shift took you straight down, but of course, that is how you actually dismount. So these guys really don't have that much health. You can kill them with just a few hits. Of course, right now they have double the health that they should. Now, an interesting little thing is that during the rain, they will actually naturally regenerate some hearts, as you can see there. The hearts are going back up fairly quickly as well. This guy's also going to quickly regenerate health when you're flying at the cloud layer, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. They want you to go really high up with these guys. Now, it takes a really long time to actually fly from the ground all the way up here. I think they definitely need to boost the flying speed of these guys. So if you're controlling these guys, you can fly them directly into a minecart, so that's fairly helpful. And also, you'll notice that when they are not mounted, the goggles actually go up. This is indicating that they can be lured in with some snowballs or whatever. And if someone is riding them, then the goggles go down and they can't be lured by other players. So let's mess around with this ghast a little bit. We all know that it has a solid top that you can stand on top of, but what exactly does that mean? So if we send this guy up an elevator and I'm standing on top of him, am I gonna get crushed in the ceiling? Am I gonna start crawling? Let's find out. So interestingly, he actually decides to go right through us, which is kind of a fascinating way of doing things. So these guys do have solid tops, which means that you can just walk on top of them and then use them for parkour and moving platforms. Now, they're a little bit difficult to stay on top of because they don't actually drag you along with them. As you see, if I stand still, I just fall down. So if you want to actually get dragged along with the Happy Ghast, then you have to ride it while it's in the minecart, and then you can take a whole bunch of people around the world with you, as you can see here. So we can have 4 people per ghast to kind of treat this like a bus. We can make whole tour stations or treat it like a subway or something. This would be really fun, actually. Now, if we could tie together multiple minecarts, then you can make a whole train of these guys, and then we could have mass transit in Minecraft. One of the neat things about these guys is that you can actually ender pearl down into them. So if you have someone on a ghast down below you, you can simply teleport over to their ghast, and the ender pearls actually hit the sides of the ghast as well, so you can ender pearl into the side of them and then just start riding them and start flying around with them. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do with this, especially in multiplayer. Can I make them use a speed potion? That would be great. Speed 10, please. Okay, I gave this guy speed, actually. It doesn't affect him when you're flying him. Oh, that is so sad. But if you get off of him, then you can see that, like, he's zooming around. So unfortunately, other mobs cannot stand on top of the Happy Ghast. Only the player can, which is kind of an interesting way of doing things. I would definitely prefer to have mobs be able to stand on top of these. Now, as you know, you can put leads on, well, just about everything in the game, including Happy Ghast that are rideable. But what happens if you ride a Happy Ghast while you're leading all these things? Well, guess what? I guess all those leads broke, but I can still pull around another Happy Ghast with me. So you can take a bunch of these with you, and this is actually faster. Oh, this is so much faster because that one in the back is nudging us forwards. Okay, this might be the meta right here. Yeah. So we gotta fly up a little bit, and then he nudges us. Okay. Yeah, now we got the meta right here, boys. Okay, this is fantastic. This is genuinely like 3 times faster. And if you're flying with an elytra, then guess what? You can also just bring one of these along with you as well. It doesn't seem like the lead really breaks, even on Bedrock Edition, which is surprising. Now, you should be able to take a couple of boats with you, and I'm hoping that that is still the case. Yeah, okay, so I was just a little bit too far away from them, so the leads kind of snapped instantly before. However, those boats are going to nudge you, kind of like how we saw before. But as you can see, we can actually take mobs this way. I guess if they're not in a boat, it would probably be easier, or if we can get them kind of like behind the gas, if we can rotate a little bit, you know. It's definitely a little bit risky. If those guys fall, then they could die. Oh, geez. There they go. Now, the nice thing is that when these guys actually touch the ground, they're not going to be going, like, supersonic like they would with an elytra. So you can gently set down mobs. Of course, they are going to be nudging into you this entire time. So it makes it a little bit difficult, especially with those boats getting underneath you. But it is technically possible. It's a pretty good way of moving mobs around your Minecraft world, especially the more difficult mobs. These guys are just going all the way around the gas now, aren't they? So it's definitely possible. Another thing I haven't really touched on is that the ghast is going to be pretty good for building. This is essentially just really slow, creative flight, so you can get around the place. Or, you know, worst case scenario, you can just use it as a mobile building platform. Obviously, this is going to be better for exterior decoration and exterior building. However, it does get stuck on just about every block in existence, so it's going to be better for things like towers or tall bridges or really anything up off the ground. And honestly, I'm here for it. A scaffolding revolution in the form of a giant marshmallow. So you can actually send these guys through a nether portal and get them into the nether. I wouldn't recommend really flying around the nether on them because you're going to get shot by the other ghast. So I want to know how bad this is. As you can see, we got the angry ghast right there. We can fire back at him, of course. But these guys appear to actually catch fire. Like the happy ghast can be on fire. It doesn't seem like they're fire immune. So we can let this guy over here shoot at us. And of course, he is going to hit us. And then, yeah, as you can see, I died. But the ghast, more importantly, is on fire, which seems really weird. So let's go ahead and hit this guy. And yeah, he's not fire immune. That's gotta be a bug. These guys should 100% be fire immune. The normal ghasts are. I know they live in the nether, but like, come on. So remember that these guys are only supposed to have 10 hearts, and a regular ghast fireball is going to do a significant amount of damage to them. And also this fire all over the nether, so right now is not a great time to really be flying around. Now, you can't feed them snowballs or anything to, like, forcefully heal them, so you just gotta wait for them to naturally regenerate over time. It is pretty slow, but they do have a natural regeneration to them. So not only are they not fire immune, but they also drown as well. But yeah, the babies are literally drowned in water for like 20 minutes, and these guys can't even survive like 20 seconds underwater, so there's maybe some things to be tweaked here as well. So I can't really get one to go through an end portal. There might be a way to do it, but I would think that this system right here would be more than enough. They should be touching those portals, right? As you can see, they do hatch in the end dimension, so even if you can't get one here, you can at least hatch them here. So sure, technically you can hatch a ghast here in the end and then use that to fly across the void to the outer end islands. However, that 20-minute timer would really take a long time. And also, this guy flies so slowly that you might actually be able to speed bridge faster than you can fly. It would be a tight race. Now, there's also an updated ghast texture as well. Not something that you would really notice too much just looking at this guy right here. However, the angry eyes, that has had a significant upgrade. So if you look at that, that is a lot cleaner of a texture. I think so anyway. It also doesn't appear that there's any special interactions between regular ghasts and happy ghasts. The regular ones aren't like firing at them or anything like that. And as you can see, the regular ghast legs are indeed much longer than the happy ghast. I'm sure there's some lore reason that map pack could cook up, but I'm guessing they just made them shorter because you're going to be down below the ghast most of the time, and clicking up on that guy is, you know, sometimes a little bit challenging, and you don't want a whole bunch of legs in your face. And then we have the vibrant visuals update. This is vanilla shaders for almost every Bedrock platform, and it will be coming to Java Edition. Now, to turn this on, you need to enable the vibrant visuals experimental toggle, which indicates that this is not going to release at the same time as game drop number 2 with the happy ghasts. Now, if you have the toggle turned on, you can press the same key that you pressed to enable ray tracing, and as you can see, vibrant visuals is here. The deferred technical preview is no more, and these are in vanilla Minecraft. So if you go down to your video settings at the very bottom down here, as you can see, there's simple, fancy, vibrant visuals, and then ray tracing. It's grayed out, so you might not be able to use ray tracing in the same world as vibrant visuals, at least not right now. It also seems like this just changes the render distance, so if we do a favor performance and then crank that all the way up, as you can see, that just takes us to the custom. So these are toggles that just appear to be the actual render distance of your world. Now, there's also vibrant visual options down here, and as you can see, there is quite a bit of things. We never got any of this with ray tracing. Interesting indeed. We're going to make this graphics card cry over here, guys. We also got Ultra over here as well. Resolution, adjust brightness. Man, okay, so there's legitimately a lot of options that they added for this feature, which is great. We never got a single toggle or anything with ray tracing, so already they are knocking this one out of the park. Now, as you can see, we have the pixelated shadows, which is actually a really important feature of these shaders, because most shaders have like super smooth shadows. As you can see, my shadow is actually pixelated, and it's pixel accurate as well. As you can see, it doesn't go over half a pixel. It is lined up properly with the blocks. It's all aligned and looking good. That is not something that like any other shader pack ever does. Now, you can also see this with the actual shadows from the sun as well with blocks. As you can see, all of these are lined up with the pixels, and if we add a little bit of time to the day right here, as you can see, those actually move over 1 pixel at a time. As you can see, we're also missing a few pixels here and there because it's like going through the leaves, you know, so it's not a solid shadow down here. Honestly, looking really, really good. Oh, I like that. Yeah, look at these shadows under the leaves. This is fantastic. Even the player with the elytra, as you can see on the ground there, we have the full shadow. The shadows are really impressive. I just got to throw that out there. You can also see this with animals as well. The shadow actually moves and animates with the legs and everything. And then, of course, clouds are going off into the horizon basically as far as you can see, which is great. That doesn't normally happen. These clouds are super nice and light and floofy as well. Oh, and then we get to the sunset. Look at that. That is really great. You can see some of the kelp in the edges over there. I don't know if that's intended or what, but maybe it's fine. But, like, this looks really nice, actually. And then, of course, we have the moon, too. Oh, wow, look at this atmosphere. I love the skies, too. That is so much better than the vanilla skies. I mean, look at this compared to this right here. And of course, if the moon or the sun is behind a cloud, that is going to actually, you know, block some of the light. But now that the clouds are moving and the moon is moving, it gets much brighter over here. You can also see the shadow on my own skin. If I move my head down, the shadow goes down on my skin. That is crazy detail right there. One of the biggest tests for shaders is always the sunrise and the sunset as well. And I gotta say, these ones look really, really good. And then the sunset too. You might wonder what platforms the shaders are going to be on. Well, it's basically every single Bedrock platform except the Switch, because the Switch is just honestly not that great. Switch 2 is unconfirmed, though. We don't know anything about Minecraft Bedrock on the Switch 2 as of right now. And they have said that this will be coming to Java Edition 2. So even on ultra settings, this is performing really well. It's looking really good all around. I haven't had any stuttering or really any graphical issues just by flying around and looking at some things. So what do you think of these shaders? Would you actually play with these on? I think it's a very playable texture pack, unlike with ray tracing, where sometimes it's just kind of not usable in survival, and it's going to be on all platforms. So are you going to be playing with this in your survival worlds when it releases all the time, sometimes, or never? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and like Minecraft news, then drop a like, share it around, and subscribe so you don't miss more videos in the future, and thank you for watching.